assistance. NAD is teaming up with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities and key stakeholders at LPIA to launch the internationally recognized initiative. We're joining more than 180 airports and 26 countries already in the program. NAD is the first organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight on this fabulous Friday. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks so much for watching. Here's a look at the Bahamas Tonight that's coming your way next. Have a great weekend.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. A large structural fire in the area of Bay Street challenging firefighters last night as the densely packed adjacent buildings and businesses came under threat. The tireless work of those responders containing that fire. Also the Bahamas and the new U.S. tariffs to be discussed with American representatives. The Prime Minister bound to Washington, D.C. next week to lead those discussions. And former senator and renowned radio talk show host Rodney Moncur dies at 68. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. That massive fire that billowed in the downtown sky overnight is now contained. It was around 8:30 last night when police fire services received reports of a structural fire in the area of Bay Street. Preliminary information then showed that multiple buildings, including several abandoned structures, were affected as the fire spread across sections of Bay Street, Victoria Avenue, and Elizabeth Avenue. Police verified that one officer sustained injuries while combating the blaze and was transported to the hospital for medical treatment. While the exact cause of the fire is still unknown, firefighting efforts are still underway as officers work tirelessly to fully extinguish the flames. That raging Bay Street blaze impacting quite a number of businesses and families that call this area home. Some of them spoke with our Desmond Saunders.
A look of anger and anguish across the face of a resident of this scorched Victoria Court building complex as she relived the harrowing ordeal of last night's blaze.
And the fire started at 7:45, and then after that, they were completely on the north side of the Bay Street Arnold store. And then that is an unoccupied place. They have always been like that for a couple of years. You have to see me trying to get people out of the street for the firefighters to go in. The people were passing like speed cars, trying to secure stuff.
Friday's raging fire leaving several families in this complex displaced, forcing many of them to move in with close family and friends. The daunting task begins of figuring out what's next for this East Bay Street businessman. The priority right now, keeping his staffers safe from the smoldering smoke.
But very, very, very bad, negative. Right now, the people in specific with feeling sick, smoke, something like that, the business go, the people don't come too much for the impact in the smoking and the fire too. We're working all together to try to, the customer come to inside because they knows about the fire.
A big loss for businesses in this area and the 29 residents who once occupied this complex. The process now is to rebuild and for some to pick up the broken pieces of their charred remains. Desmond Saunders, of Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks for that reporting, Desmond. Tourism officials also assessing the impact of this wide-scale fire on the country's top industry. And as Corval Pyfrom reports, early indications are that we have dodged a bullet.
While crews were still working to contain this fire, which spread quickly across a significant swath of the downtown area, curious onlookers, many of them visitors touring the site, perfectly fine with tourism officials who say despite this setback, things could have been a lot worse.
There is a discomfort from the smoke, which was expected due to the nature of the fire, but it's having at this time no impact on the visitor experience.
Tourism Director General Latia Duncombe and a team of tourism officials walked through downtown Friday morning. Later, Duncombe talked about the response plan going forward.
We've been in touch with the cruise port, and all of the cruise lines have also been notified. And so the visitor experience, the 40,000 cruise ship passengers on a busy day that would traverse Nassau, downtown, and the surrounding areas, those visitors can still come and enjoy the destination.
And by early Friday afternoon, crews were largely successful at containing this fire, which turned into a massive blaze, allowing the focus to now shift to traffic, where, yes, there's a lot of heat for drivers, as Shirley Street, this normally one-way corridor, has been made accessible to two-way traffic. Traffic diversions are also in place on Bay Street, including two-way traffic on Shirley Street, snarling traffic for drivers making their way in and out of the downtown area. Back on Bay Street, Deputy Chair of the Tourism Development Corporation, Anthony Bostwick, who also oversees the downtown Nassau revitalization efforts, was more focused on lessons learned and looking forward.
Our response time and how we deal with the buildings that we have, the antiquated buildings that we must now address with the owners. Some of them have to come down, and we have to keep improving the product as we move forward.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Thanks, Corval. Well, this fire again shining the spotlight on the burning issue of the many derelict buildings in the downtown area and calls for them to be torn down. Some of those exercises have begun, but the Tourism Development Corporation's Anthony Bostwick believes more might still be done legislatively to accelerate owners getting their properties in order.
Because what we are experiencing right now is something that we had intended to do in addressing the owners. Either you clean up and you repair, or we have to address it from a different context. And like as I said earlier, most of the owners have been very, very cooperative, and they were negotiating along the way. Some negotiations ran into snags because there are many family tentacles, and if they don't agree, then nothing moves. What we have to now do is make sure that we put the downtown legislation in place, that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, then government has the ability through a legislative process to do what needs to be done.
Across town, firefighters wrestled a fast-moving bushfire on Martin Close off Cowpen Road earlier today. The good news is that no homes or buildings were destroyed and no injuries reported. Some residents could be seen extinguishing the flames. Eyewitness Linwood Higgins gave this account to our news team.
I saw the fire, so something tells me drive, because I know the church is here. I drive through, and as I get there, I get closer, and the first fire engine was here. And so I asked Pastor Sister Judy, and she said she called the fire engine, and she was sitting there, and it just keeps spreading. That fire engine, this is the second trip, and it seems as if though they're trying to work towards that set over there, they're spreading.
Yeah, thank you.
So, which is good. Hopefully, they'll bring this thing to a stop.
Thank you.
Because with this wind and the underbrush is so dry, it's just easy to burn. And because a lot of people live down the street, so hopefully everything will work out in the end.
Still to come, remembering a fallen broadcaster. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Join us on Social Mania, a new and dynamic game show based on the Ministry of Education's primary and junior high school social studies curriculum. Students from schools across the Bahamas go head-to-head as their knowledge of social studies is challenged. In this episode, Gambier Primary battles with Sadie Curtis Primary School. Which school will emerge as winner? To find out, join us as these two schools engage in intense competition. Don't miss it.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
Key issues impacting the Bahamas, including new U.S. tariffs, will be discussed with American representatives. Leading those discussions for the Bahamas, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, who is expected to travel to Washington, D.C. next week to meet with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. This in the face of the Bahamas being the victim of a 10% tariff U.S. President Donald Trump has imposed on countries. Here's the Office of the Prime Minister's Director of Communications, Latre Ramey.
There are other regional leaders who will be a part of that meeting. I suspect that the Secretary of State will have a number of matters on his list. I know what is focus of the Prime Minister. One would be regional security. One would be the impact of the tariffs on small island development states. I know he will advance the interests of the Bahamas and to provide any clarity that D.C. may have or the administration may have on the Bahamian government policies.
Each year, the FIT Cuba International Tourism Fair explores a fusion of culture, fostering greater understanding and respect between Cuba and a featured country. Felicity Darville tells us which country got the spotlight this year.
For 2025, FIT Cuba's special invited country is China, and these professional dancers have collaborated to bring this beautiful theme to life.
Bahamian tourism travel experts give their take on the night's performance.
Oh, the show was fantastic. The music, the dancing, just fantastic.
These people got culture, music, and everything. Presentation, food. They give us the experience of our lifetime. They make us feel like we ain't part of this tourism thing. And we're supposed to be the best in the world. So come back, Bahamas. make it better?
It was excellent, and I truly enjoyed it very much, like all of our trip. It's great.
This beautiful fusion of Cuban and Chinese culture proves that across borders, land and sea, music and dance are truly languages of unity. From beautiful Havana Harbor for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
Thank you so much for listening. Back here at home, the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians Network introduced its members to the country's finest art. The female politicians got a chance to visit and chat with operators of Villa Gemella Art House and Gallery and House of Assembly Accessories. Small Business Development Center's Executive Director, Samantha Roll, shared more about the experience.
So it's amazing that we're here at Villa Gemella. Dr. Sophia Roll is the entrepreneur and resident artist of this art gallery. And we are here today as part of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarian Workshop. We have groups of delegates that are visiting some of our clients, SPDC funded and supported clients. And so this art gallery is one of two of the clients that the delegates are visiting.
Gallery owner and operator Dr. Sophia Roll says officials are excited to showcase authentic Bahamian products to the world.
May 1st, we're celebrating our 5th year here at the gallery in this particular location. So it's wonderful, and it was a blessing to have the SBDC come through, recognize that as a woman entrepreneur, I needed some assistance in terms of continuing to produce good artwork. I always like to be someone who young people can emulate, and it's fantastic because I try to tell youngsters or anyone really who's starting a business, just take the first step. It's not going to be easy. 5 years was not peachy and creamy here for me. It has been a challenge, but you have to stick to it. If you are passionate about what you do, if you believe in what you do, you will continue to do well.
The witty, charismatic, self-proclaimed leader of the Womendom and popular talk show host, former senator and social activist Rodney Moncur has died. His death sparking a long string of condolences. Our LaDon Davis chatted with some of Moncur's colleagues today at Island Luck Studios.
He was bold in speech, passionate in cause, and utterly unafraid to challenge authority when he believed people were shortchanged. A powerful snippet from a tribute by Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis on the sudden passing of former senator and the host of Freedom March, the late Rodney Moncur. Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, also gave touching tributes to the fallen broadcast giant. The somber spirit spilled over at the Island Luck Studios, where Moncur spent about 2 hours of his day hosting Freedom March, a radio talk show that gripped the nation daily. His sidekicks, the spiritual advisor Bradley Roll, Levon Miller, and news director Janaea Noel, reflected on some of his final moments.
I actually thought he was going to get better and come back to the show, but when I got the news that he was experiencing breathing problems, and he was on his way to the hospital.
He said to me, he said, I must prepare you. You're my friend. I must let you know that I'm going to die soon. And so when you hear the news, I don't want you to be shocked. I don't want you to be alarmed.
You know, there's some names you just never anticipate will go away. Rodney Moncur is one of those things. It's supposed to last forever. And to know that today is where it ends is sobering.
So what exactly will they all miss about the man who considered himself to be the leader of the Womendom?
I would really miss that bond, that friendship, that daily interaction. Is someone I look forward to seeing every day. And you know, he was sick for the last few weeks. He wasn't here, and it's definitely a spark that I missed in the newsroom.
Rodney had a good heart. Rodney was a gentleman. Rodney was a man who understood people. Rodney was a forgiving person. Rodney was tolerant. Rodney, he understood the word empathy.
The shocking death of the late Rodney Moncur has left an entire country in mourning, but his legacy will live on. Plans to give Moncur a hero's send-off are still being made. This is powerful. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDon Davis.
Powerful indeed. Thanks, LaDon. Charles Fisher has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Charles?
Coming up in sports, inside the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium was buzzing with excitement.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exoma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is producing work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass that along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking lot? You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, that's no parking. Look at this way. Like, you ain't got nowhere to go. Don't park. That's no parking. Don't park over here. That's handicap. No, man, you can't park in handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way parking, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bar big broke, and he got a sticker inside that say this mod though. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Welcome to Late Night Sports. Thanks for staying up late with us. The Catholic Primary School Track and Field Championships held earlier today at the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. School pride and full effect in the bleachers, showing their full support for their respective schools. On the track, open boys 800 meters, St. Francis Joseph to Carrie Brown, leading from start to finish, and the sprint kick at the end, your winner.
My plan was to go slow on the corners so I could save some energy. And when I get on the straights, I start speeding up.
You're surprised you were able to win by such a big margin?
Yes, sir.
How come?
I didn't expect that I would have so much energy to be able to run that race without slowing down. 100
junior girls, Naj Davis was in a race by herself, representing St. Thomas More.
It was a fun experience. I love it. I enjoy running. I love doing everything. It was being my career for almost 3 years.
The darling and crowd pleaser was Young Today Minus in her 100 meters.
I felt like I could run like a tiger.
Director of Catholic Education, Alexandra Roberts-Bowe, on how things went.
Our 4 primary schools here on the island are participating today and showing their athletic prowess. And this is really important because in Catholic schools, we are not only committed to academics, but we are committed to the development of a child spiritually, emotionally, physically, and academically. And so we're so happy to have this opportunity for them to show their athletic skills and also to show great sportsmanship and to support their sister and brother schools.
You talk about support, not only the kids having fun, but the parents out here enjoying themselves as well.
Definitely, and we're so happy that the parents are supporting the boys and girls today as they perform. We're happy to have them, and it's always great to have the kind of camaraderie that we're having here today.
Now, some of these athletes will be participating in the Frank Pancho Raming Primary School Nationals next week, Tuesday through Thursday at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Director of Sports, Kelsey Johnson Seals, with a special announcement.
Every participant will be given a ribbon. So everyone at the Frank Pancho Raming meet is a winner. So we don't want anyone to be leaving after the 3 days and think that they haven't done a good job. this is the foundation, the future of our track and Olympian stars, so we're going to treat them with royalty.
To this now, SAC honoring their Carifta athletes during Bahamas Heritage Week Day Thursday at the school's campus. Each athlete receiving a framed photo of themselves from the games. Two of the game's most outstanding athletes, Egan Neely and Shikario Wilson, posing with head coach Jason Edwards and principal Marcy Thompson.
I feel really good about it to see me come back to my school cheering for me. My school is very proud of me and everything, so it feels wonderful. Seeing what I did in Trinidad, my hard work had finally paid off, and I was able to get 4 goals to bring it back to the Bahamas. And so I feel really good about it, and to see my school it makes me feel it's very heartwarming.
It feels good, especially with the comp. It feels good, and I've been working all year for this, so just feel proud I'm proud of myself.
I believed in God, and I know that He had a plan for me in Trinidad and Tobago, so I went out there and show Him that how great He is and how great am I.
The GSSA Junior Boys Baseball Championship, H.O. Nash Lions taking on C.H. Reeves. Runs were at a minimum. Bar throw here proved to be the winning run, 6-5 Lions, Game 1.
It was extremely important to win the first game. We could go out and end the series as soon as possible, so we don't want to go to Game 3, so Game 1, Game 2, and series will be done. So today was very important. I was satisfied with the way they played. Today we had to go with a different pitcher in order for our pitcher from the previous day to recover.
Senior boys and C.L. Walker looking to keep their perfect season intact against the Stingrays of C.B. Bethel. Not much runs in this one either, as the Knights joust to a 4-1 win.
It's very important to come out here and set the tune today and get the victory. We coming out here with the same mindset tomorrow. We're using our ace. We're going with the horse to close this out. So we wanted to go undefeated. But we're satisfied for what we did today, 4-1. I think the boys did excellent. They really come out here and give effort. It takes no talent to give effort, so I'm satisfied.
And moving on to the senior girls, where C.B. Bethel and Doris Johnson playing between the white lines. Doris Johnson batting in the bottom half of the game, couldn't put enough runs past the plate. Stingrays went 11-10, losing pitcher Renika Dulce.
Our team, we could beat CV. Like, it ain't hard. We just gotta get ourselves together and not be scared. Talk. It's communication. Everybody make mistakes. We just gotta make up for them.
That's gonna put a wrap on your TGIF Look at Sports. Thanks for watching and have yourself a great weekend.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new
And dreams become your life.
This is my time.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Nika B, and I'm bringing you the heat with my crew on The Drop. We vibing, we reacting.
Hot videos.
We talking to the hottest music producers,
hot interviewers,
Bahamian artists, and Bahamian DJs. Trust me, y'all ain't never want to miss this energy on The Drop.
This your boy Shine 242, and if you want exclusive interviews, hot videos, hot music, then tune into The Drop, man.
It's only right here on The Drop, exclusively on ZNS.
Let's go, man.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil D. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. High pressure is in control, but low-level traffic moving into the northwest Bahamas, and that will trigger a couple of showers late tonight and tomorrow. And your temperatures around the islands this evening, 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville, Key and Abaco, Marsh Harbor at 75 degrees. Islands, 77. Ellistown, Bimini, 76 also in Harbor Island. Rock, Sandy, Lutris, 78 degrees. In Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 81 degrees. Camps Bay, South Andros, and Black Point, Exuma at 82. degrees in Allentown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey, Georgetown, Exuma, 1 degree up at 80. Clarence, Long Island, Crooked Island at 79 degrees. Betsy Bay, Meguana, 82. Acklands, 82 degrees. Ragged Island, 79 degrees. Nagua, 82, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And our satellite pictures are showing the low-level trophy now moving across Grand Bahama, heading towards the Abacos. So we will see an increase in cloudiness tonight with a few showers developing in the northwest Bahamas. And your forecast tonight, partly cloudy and mild, 72 degrees for the low temperature. And tomorrow it's going to be variable cloudiness with a couple of showers, particularly in the afternoon, with a high temperature of 82 degrees. Forecast, a few showers tomorrow afternoon. Sunday, not too bad. We will still have that breeze in effect, taking us right into Monday. And then come Tuesday, we'll see a few more showers develop in our forecast. Daytime temperatures, they will start climbing as we head into the early part of next week, reaching a peak of 87 degrees on Friday, and your nighttime temperature somewhat on the mild side in the low 70s. Royston?
Thanks, Basil. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Be sure to tune into the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition with Desmond Saunders. And as always, thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful weekend.
At the Office of the Prime Minister, I'm Devontae Hanno. This is ZNS.